So Joburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse has won a court interdict to bar a sitting of council today in which a motion of no confidence in her was apparently being planned. But parties opposed to the DA coalition running the city say the battle is far from over. Well, I'm joined now by Leah Knott MMC for Group Corporates in Johannesburg. Thank you so much for your time. I am correct that you are yourself a member of the DA, and it's important to understand who sits where because the allegations are flying left, right and centre. Could you explain to us who actually is now acting in the role of Speaker, and did the court interdict clarify this matter properly last night?
Yes, so we've always been of the opinion, and the law states very clearly, the Structures Act, is that an acting Speaker has to be elected by Council in terms of Section 41. A new Speaker has to be elected at a meeting presided over by the City Manager in terms of Section 36 of the Structures Act. We've always maintained that. And the issue here is not really interdicting a meeting. The issue was interdicting a person purporting to act under authority that they didn't have, which is a very dangerous precedent. She basically assumed a role that wasn't hers to assume and started calling meetings left, right and centre, a council meeting, a programming meeting, etc. And that was the real issue. So the judge did interdict her from firstly acting as the Speaker, because that is not a role that she can assume by law. And secondly, from calling any meetings, because any meetings called by her, under that sort of position would be unlawful. So that is the essence of the matter.
All right. So talk to me about who is mandated now to act as Speaker.
So the position is vacant. There was a motion and the position is vacant. So the acting Secretary to Council will now fulfill the duties in terms of the legislature. And the acting City Manager has called a meeting. It will sit on the 28th of September, and we will elect a Speaker. Currently, there is nobody fulfilling that role because Council has not elected anyone to do so, either acting or as a permanent position.
So Al-Jamaa is one of the parties that is unhappy with the DA-led coalition. Some of the allegations they've levelled are concerns that Mpho Phalatse is repressing a report which they say points to corruption. There's also allegations around Michael's son. I wonder if you could just give us a response to these allegations and concerns from those parties that some of those members within the coalition could be implicated in corruption.
Well, look, I'm not sure if Councillor Ahmed is acting for Al-Jamaa or for the ANC at this stage. It's very unclear, and a very dangerous game he's playing at the moment. So I think, we're getting lost in smoke and mirrors. The essence of what they're trying to do here is a power grab. They're unhappy with the fact that they don't hold power. And we've heard it time and time again from the ANC. They need access to the 300 billion rand available in Gauteng. They've lost many metros. They haven't been able to pay their staff since last year. They've got many problems. And the answer to those problems is to grab the biggest metro in the country with a 77 billion rand budget. And, in essence, if you look at what we're uncovering and what's been coming to council and the actions we're starting to take, including lifestyle audits, etc., these are things they don't want to see happening. Just last week, I was accused of not being a real person. I mean, they went after my surname. I had to go to the IEC and explain to them, and probably unnecessarily so, because I think they knew they were just trying to create some sort of drama. That, in essence, I had obviously been married and got divorced, and these things happens to many women in this country and across the globe. So we had to get a letter from the IEC to speak to that. I think MMC Sun has also released a statement on the fact that there has been no warrant issued in his name. We're dealing with smoke and mirrors. We need to start focusing on the real problems, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Our mayor is committed to what she's doing. We are very committed. And
Sorry to jump in. I understand that there's going to be a scorecard tomorrow on service delivery, because one of the allegations is that the mayor is not actually delivering enough. So talk to me about how much this political infighting has impacted on service delivery in Johannesburg.
Well, we've tried not to. I mean, the residents are paramount here. We're not interested in holding power at all costs. The coalition is not about that. The coalition got together because many parties were unhappy, and we are also residents of the city. We were unhappy with how we were being governed. We weren't important. We weren't considered as the paramount issue within the city. So that's why the coalition formed, with parties that really just wanted to serve the residents of Joburg. So, we've added an extra couple of hours on our day to deal with the nonsense that's going on. But in essence, what we're focused on is delivering services. We've carried on with our normal day-to-day issues. I was just with the mayor in a meeting on HR issues and labor-related matters. We've implemented, a lot of things in a very short amount of time, and considering it hasn't even been a year, that report back is coming to the residents tomorrow to show how much we have done. And, what I can say to parties who are complaining that we're not delivering services is, the fact that you've never actually sat down and said, what services are these? What are we not delivering that you're claiming that, you're unhappy with? Because as elected representatives, their duty is to sit down with the mayor and say, look, here's the issues, help us solve them. They've never once come to the table to do that because that's not what they're concerned about. It's just, background noise in order for them to do what they really intend to, which is to grab power through the back door.
All right, thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. That's Leah Knott. She's MMC for Group Corporates in Johannesburg, and she says that the allegations against members of the coalition, notably the Mayor, Michael Son, are baseless and just an attempt to grab back power. So we'll see what happens on the 28th of September, where an acting speaker is likely to be nominated. Let's move now to this.